Okay, number 2 says Nicole is running for school president. Her best friend designed her campaign poster, which measured 3 feet by 2 feet. Nicole liked the poster so much that she reproduced the artwork on rectangular buttons that measured 2 inches by 1 1/3 inch. What is the scale factor? For these types of problems, we always do the new version divided by the original. In this case, the new version is the buttons, and the original is the campaign poster. So we are going to take the button and divide it by the campaign poster. So 2 divided by 3. Then for the other one, we're going to take this and divide it by that. So we have 1 1/3, which if we change that to an improper fraction, 1 times 3 is 3, plus 1 more makes 4. So 4/3, and we need to divide 4/3 by 2. If we're dividing with fractions, we can flip that second number over and change it to multiplication. So instead, we would be multiplying by 1/2. You can see here that 2 and 4 are both even, so we can divide by 2, and we would end up with 2/3 again. So our scale factor for number 2 is going to be 2/3. I do see on some papers when students are working on this that they convert them both to inches, which is also okay, and so you may end up with a different answer for that one, and I kind of just want to show you what you might see. So if you were to change this to inches, there are 12 inches in a foot, which gives you 36 inches. So then you would have 2 divided by 36, which reduces to 1/18. If you have an answer of 1/18 or an answer of 2/3, both of those can be correct depending on which strategy you're using to approach the problem. In number 3, the scale drawing is the new version and the original is the actual picture. So for new divided by original, we would have 5/3. If you change that to a mixed number, 3 goes into 5 once, and then you have 2 extra pieces that you need. Either one of those will work. I personally prefer to leave things as improper fractions, but if you like to change them to mixed numbers, that's okay too. In number 4, it says find the scale factor using the given scale drawings and measurements below. This one is trying to trick you because in this one it's using a radius, which only goes halfway across the circle, and in this one it's using the diameter. If we want to be able to compare them, we need them both to be in the same format. So we can either make a diameter in this one, which would be 12, and then compare, or we can make them both radiuses. Radii is the plural word for that. And so halfway across this circle we would have 12. And 6 divided by 12 is 1/2. And 12 divided by 24 is 1/2. So either way, we should end up with 1/2 as our scale factor. For number 5, it says, using the given scale factor, create a scale drawing from the actual picture in inches. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the dimensions and we're going to multiply by our scale factor. If you look at the height, I believe the height of this picture is 3/4 of an inch, if you were to measure it with your ruler. So when we change those to the scale drawing, we need to multiply by 3. That means that our base is going to be, our height is going to be 3 times 3 is 9 and over 4. And our base, 1 times 3, is going to be 3 inches. Leaving it in an improper fraction for this one makes it a little bit tricky, when we're talking about measurements, because if you're trying to figure out where 9/4 is on a ruler, you're probably going to have a difficult time. This is one case where it would be best to change it back to a mixed number. So 4 fits into 9 twice, and that would give us 8, but we need one more to make it to 9. So our picture should be 2 1/4 inch tall and 3 inches wide. And then you want to draw in that little flap of the envelope so that it matches. Using our ruler, we're going to measure the actual picture, and then we're going to create the scale drawing. When you measure this side length here, it comes out to 3, that's kind of hard to see on there, 3 inches. And if you were to measure how tall that side piece is, you should see that it comes out to 2.5 inches. 2.5. And then when you measure all the way across from one side to the other, like if you were to measure all the way through there, you would see that that distance is 4 inches. We are going to take those 3 dimensions and scale them by a scale factor of 3/4. So over here, 4 times 3/4, 2.5 times 3/4, and 3 times 3/4. 4 times 3 is 12, and 12 divided by 4 gets us back to 3. 2.5 can be replaced with 5/2. 5 times 3 is 15, and 2 times 4 is 8. 8 can fit into 15 once, and then we would have 7 left over. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 fits into 9 twice with 1 left over. So you are going to create this picture, but instead of it being 3 inches across the bottom, it's now going to be 2 1/4 across the bottom. Instead of it being 2.5 high, it's now going to be 1 7/8 of an inch high. And instead of it being 4 all the way to the other end, it should be 3 all the way to the other end. Your homework needs to have a picture drawn using a ruler and these measurements that we just found. Number 6 says Hayden likes building radio-controlled sailboats with her father. One of the sails, shaped like a right triangle, that means a shape kind of like this, with a right angle, has side lengths of 6 inches, 8 inches, and 10 inches. To log her activity, Hayden creates and collects drawings of all the boats she and her father built together. Using the scale factor of 1/4, create a scale drawing of the sail. So, we have 6, and we need to scale it by 1/4. 8 needs scaled by 1/4, and 10 needs scaled by 1/4. 6 times 1 is 6. 4 goes into 6 one time, with 2 left over, and 2/4 is the same as 1/2, so we can write 1 1/2. 8 times 1 is 8, and then we have a 4 on the bottom. 4 fits into 8 2 times perfectly. 10 times 1 is 10. 4 fits into 10 2 times, with 2 left over, and 2/4 can reduce to 1/2. You are going to draw a right triangle that is 1 1/2 inch tall, 2 inches wide, and 2 1/2 inches to connect them. You need to have a picture using the ruler, so it should be straight and it should be accurate using those measurements. And then you are finished with this homework assignment. Make sure you put your full name on the top of your page. If you have 2 pages, make sure they get stapled together.